Welcome back to Daybreak. 6:52, 23 degrees. As the earthquake shook south central Alaska, one Eagle River man says he's lucky to be alive. KTVA's Cassie Sherm went to an Eagle River home that collapsed from the earthquake on Friday with one person inside.
This house behind me here was completely devastated from the earthquake on Friday. You can see it's sideways and you can't even see the bottom floor of this two-story house. We're going to take a closer look so you guys can see some of the damages. Now you see broken windows, broken frames, but the big thing here is this is where the structure of the house originally was and how far it moved back. I spoke to the man who was inside this house during the earthquake, and he tells me he's just lucky to be alive.
I mean, this is not like damage. This is like the whole house fell.
This is Rick Walburns and his husband, Logan Cushman's home.
It's devastated. I don't see any way it could be salvaged, honestly.
Once a beautiful house, now in ruins.
We don't have a home to go back to right now.
What is scarier than the mess they're left with is that Logan was inside the home when it collapsed.
The bed started jumping. All of a sudden, it just went to another level, and it felt like I was getting hit by a bus or some kind of plane, something. It felt like something had crashed into the house, and that was when the house had actually fallen off of the frame.
It wasn't a plane or a bus that he woke up to upstairs. It was a 7-point earthquake that made his home go sideways.
I was like, I've got to get out of here. I know this isn't safe. I could hear the gas flowing, and there was no power. It was still like 8:30 in the morning, so it was still pretty dark. So I had my cell phone light, and I was just running around trying to find a way out. And thank God I was able to get that open, and it only opened a couple, maybe 8 inches.
Yeah,
and I was able to climb out on top of the steps right there.
In that moment, Logan says his life flashed before his eyes.
Definitely made me think a little bit more about my life. Definitely don't take your life for granted, because if I was anywhere else in this house, it could have been completely different. Anywhere else.
Now that Logan and their pets are safe, they're left to look at the damage.
Wow, you can see partly inside the house here.
That's the living room.
Yeah, that's
the floor of the living room.
Yep.
And this thing was attached to the door, you can see, and it was about 6 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
It looks like now that this is being supported by these trees completely. The only reason that hasn't fallen.
Just 4 months ago, they moved into this home from South Carolina and never thought this would happen to them.
No. That's partially why we didn't do the earthquake insurance, because
we were worried about bears and ice and how to dress warmly in the winter.
Yeah, we weren't worried about an earthquake.
Yeah, this is...
Even though they're left with nothing,
the reality setting in of everything that we have to replace everything that we own.
They're not worried.
I'm not worried about us at all.
We're being taken care of very well by the Alaskans.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Everybody keeps calling us Alaskans. Yeah.
They say Alaskans take care of Alaskans, and that is very true.
Yeah.
We have noticed that.
4 months we've been Alaskans, and we're already being taken care of.
Even though their home is in shambles, they say they've learned one thing from this experience. They're lucky. Lucky to still be alive and thankful for all of the support they've received from the community. Cassie Sherm, KTVA 11 News.
Yeah, a lot of love in this Alaska community. Those guys are sourdoughs now. I think anybody who experienced that 7.0 earthquake is a sourdough. That couple renting the home, but the neighbors in the area, they've come together to create a GoFundMe page to help them get back on their feet. Good community stuff. Hey, we got some lighter news.